Hey, how you guys doing? Oh, it's going. Things are happening. You hear the music. I hear the music too. Hey, it's been a great week. I know a lot. I hear but the greatest thing we're doing is we're having our off night. We get to talk to four very old comics talking about comedy every day. And we're going to try and do topical stuff and talk about, things coming up and music and all different types of stuff. It's all under the weather. Under the weather? No, under the, I can't think anymore because I'm just so excited about the off night. And your host, Mr. Mark Sweetman.
Hey, here we are. Okay. All right. Mark Sweetman here. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Andy, for that introduction. Let me bring you right back out here. Hold on just a moment. There he is. All right.
Hey.
There's our man.
So what's happening? What's going on with you?
We both have some kind of a fan or some sort of a stick or wave or something behind us there.
Oh, anyway. Well, I have my those are my rods.
Is that your fishing gear? Fishing gear?
Fishing gear, yep.
Okay.
Preparing for the old, opening day, getting out there, tearing into those perch like they're nobody's business,
Where do you fish?
Generally I'll try and fish over there's a couple of places west of here in the Pinckney area. There's a Pinckney
the state park there?
Yeah. Oh. But I usually like there's if I get a chance I like to drive up to Manistee. And there's some great fly fishing up there, and it's like a fly fishing only zone.
Okay.
And, it's nice, get the brook trout, which is probably one of the prettiest trouts you can possibly get, and they're right there. So they're wonderful. I'm starting to sound like we're going to do a Michigan Out of Doors with Morton F. It's like
Morton F.
Morton F. Man,
there's a name I haven't heard in a while.
Yeah, well, we're at the deer pole right over here, and you can see. Don't look over there. There's guts hanging out. Get over there. I don't know what the hell that is. All right.
Morton F.
Yeah, I remember those old boats. He had those old boats. You go out there. He interviewed everybody. But
I remember that show. That was. We had Morton F. We had George Perot did our travel. Morton F. did our outdoor stuff.
Perot,
Yeah. We had who was our arts and crafts lady? Carol Duvall. Carol Duvall was the arts and crafts lady.
Okay.
Rita Bell had the prize movie.
Rita Bell, yeah. Then you had going movies. Got Bill Kennedy, at the movie.
At Bill Kennedy at the movies.
It shows you what you can do if you're an extra and keep the films. It's like,
that's right. There was Mr. Belvedere.
Mr. Belvedere? I don't remember him.
You don't remember Mr. Belvedere?
No,
we do. He was a construction builder. He was a home improvement.
Oh yeah.
We do good work.
They were talking about the TV personalities, like Sergeant Spacko.
He was a TV personality. I thought he and Ollie Freder, all those guys, they were more TV personalities really than they were pitchmen.
Yeah. Yeah, but I was thinking like was it Sergeant Sacto with the guy?
Sergeant Sacto that was Ryan, wasn't it?
Ryan, yeah, he was on the spaceship, whatever they call it,
Yeah. He played Count Scary too for a while.
Oh, Count Scary. Was he Count Scary? No, we had Sir Graves Ghastly.
No, Sir Graves. No, sir. This was after Sir Graves. Sir Graves Ghastly was Channel 2.
Yeah.
And Count Scary was Channel 4.
Okay.
Do you remember that now?
I try to remember. I remember him mostly as Sergeant Sacto, not necessarily Count Scary. But I was a devoted Sir Ghastly fan, And of course, you had the Ghoul. Late at night. So
now he was from Cleveland, but we imported him.
Oh yeah. Well, we got Froggy, and all that stuff. I was allowed to stay up and watch it. So
hiya, Ghoul. Hiya.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, since you were the only one on our show, that was at the show on Monday, I wanted to ask, how do you think it went?
On the show on Monday?
Oh,
yeah. I think it went pretty good.
I really liked, of course, Vivian, and I liked the first one up. I can never remember names sometimes.
Finn St. John. Oh, Lisa Green or Finn St. John.
St. John and Lisa Green were both very good. Yeah, I thought they were great.
Yeah.
I was like, I was the headliner though. I thought it was like, you actually wrote down, talking to the audience. So I'm like, do crowd work written down.
Oh yeah. She had it on her. She had it on her list to do. Talk to the crowd.
What? What? How about she was pretty good too. I was just kind of cracking up about that. So
that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, well,
we got a good audience. I mean, we got a packed house. That was great.
That's the best part. That's the best part of it. People looking at the stage, sitting in the chair. And, a lot of it had to do with the, Tim and I went in and set that place up, so all the chairs were actually aimed toward the stage. That helps a little bit.
Yeah, well, you dedicated the night to doing stand-up, and we have the only stage really with the lights. We go to all these other places, and there's no lights going towards the stage. They assume that the extra lights will be able to light everybody up.
These are people that pay for. These are people that pay for. These are paid for shows, and they don't have lights.
No, these are the guys working on Lisa Green's place. It's great.
Those are just open mics, though, right?
But you still have to have some theatrical aspect. You still have to have some focus of the lights. I mean, it's not we're not doing radio up there. It's like.
No, what they're doing is they're doing Friends Gather. Is what they're doing. Friends Gather and support each other.
Well, I get that. I understand that, but I'm just saying, like theatrics, you just have to have a focused light.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. In fact, we spent all that shit that Ted has up there, by the piano.
Yeah,
we cleared a lot of that crap out too.
Yeah. So
just because I mean we're actually going to make people sit further back rather than clear this out so they could sit closer to the stage, and that just didn't make sense to me. So
yeah. So I mean, but it was fine because then you didn't have the guys in the back playing darts and screaming at each other. Yeah, you didn't have the guys over there watching the TV.
Well, what I think everybody though thinks that they're far enough back that it doesn't really bother anybody. But who it bothers? It doesn't bother the performers on stage. It bothers the people in the back trying to watch the show. That's who it bothers.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But it's also, I hate to say this, a lot of the comics get a little loud in that little corner.
Yeah, they think because they're around the corner that they can't be heard, but they do get loud. You're right.
Yeah.
They'd actually be better off if we could keep them over in the front room, because nobody ever uses that once we start the show.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
All right, well let's get the other guys out here. We need to talk about more than just our show, but the show was a good show.
It was a good show. It was a good.
We're definitely gonna do another one. I talked to Claire that night, and we started spitballing some ideas. Here's one you might think about, and I'll ask the other guys too when they get out here. They have a turnover in the fall, the winter, and the spring.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, they turn their kegs over from their summer brews to their autumn brews, and their autumn brews to their winter brews, and their winter brews to their spring brews.
Yeah,
they brew during a season. It's seasonal beers that they craft, that they don't have a turnover event for the summer. So we might do a comedy event for that.
Yeah.
We also talked about how they can't serve liquor out in the parking lot. But the Moose or the Elks clan can, and since they have Ooks and Elks members that come in there, they're going to see if she can't talk to some of them, and possibly get them to bring their Moose or they get like about 12 licenses, remote licenses, liquor licenses a year. So we might share with them. All right.
Well, I would also suggest a clean night. One of them be totally clean nights.
That'd be great.
Yeah, an audience.
It would be you, me, and Kurum.
Maybe we get Andy Bedingo. He might do it.
Oh, Andy Bedingo would be great for that. Yes. All right, let me get the other guys out here. Here's, ladies and gentlemen, if you watch our show with any regularity at all, our man from New York. Here he is, Sam Greenfield. Hey, Sam.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, and over, and you got to have one you got to have one ex-con on every show. Here he is. Here's Jason Grant.
Wanted but not loved in 8 states.
Well, I'm just putting down my wanted number and the 3 or 4 prison dicks that I was working on.
All right, now
hey,
I got to
Mark.
bring. Yeah, hold on. I got to bring Susan out here because we're going to have her do a poem, and then I'll bring you guys back. Okay. Okay.
Right.
And last but not least, here's my bride with her weekly poem. Where's it here? Oh, here she is.
Yeah.
And
You don't have to take everybody down for me to do a poem.
it doesn't.
Don't take me down.
Who's whistling?
What the fuck?
What is that?
Somebody's
Hold
got
on.
an alarm going off. Whose door is open? Car door is open.
Nobody's in their car tonight.
No, look,
That's what
I
it
was
sounded
told
like.
that my computer works.
This
I'm
is
not
a
on
rare.
the phone.
This is a rare occasion where we have nobody in their car studio.
Just one
Hey,
booker.
next week, Monday, get your
Oh, that's right.
glasses and go look at the sun.
Yeah,
I'm
we
with
may be hosting the off night from Cleveland next week.
We
All
might.
right.
We might.
Well, I might be down in Wapakoneta, which is where the Neil Armstrong Museum is, and it's right in the same pathway as Cleveland.
Yeah, one of the guys I played basketball with is going to be in Wapakoneta.
Yeah.
He's going down there for it.
Yeah.
Well, we're so close to where it's gonna be full. We're gonna try and drive an hour and a half ish, 2 hours, and
We'll probably go until the
You wear
traffic
the-
blocks us off.
where-
And then,
where we can get
Yeah.
3 minutes of total darkness.
Finally, I can get some sleep.
Whatever it is. Almost
Oh.
like our bedroom, Mark. 3 minutes.
yeah, well,
3.5 minutes. Wow. Okay.
So
Yeah.
I also work pretty clean, Mark.
all right, we'll put you on the show then.
Okay, here's your poem.
Thank you.
All right.
Sawfish are spinning and perhaps they're crying. Off Florida, smallmouth sawfish are sadly dying. We don't know why, researchers say, but investigation of the cause is underway. Israel and Hamas are still having a war. Do you remember what they're fighting for? The Key Bridge cleanup is underway. 4 still missing, I'm sorry to say. Murderer serving life also committed financial crimes. He stole his clients and law firms' hard-earned dimes. Before the judge today, he did appear. Alex Murdaugh sentenced to 40 more years. Hello, fools, you know it's true. You can laugh, you can cry, the joke's on you. That's your
Ah.
What was
Thank you,
what was the
Susan.
topic of what was the topic of the last line?
the topic of April Fools or Alex Murdaugh?
April Fools.
Oh, April Fools. Okay, April Fools.
Hello, April Fools.
April
You
Fools.
all are April Fools.
Yes, yes, we are.
I'll be damned.
Yeah. Hey, Mark. One thing while my brain is still, you were talking about the show. You know, perhaps we should consider maybe doing the podcast on a Sunday night live from the place down there, and maybe we could get them to reconsider allowing us to use that place on occasion to do the podcast from. It would also give you a chance to rotate some guests in and out. You know,
we could do the podcast from that front room. I pretty much have it from 3 to 7, that front room.
right.
And I use it for dojos and workshops and stuff like
Right.
that. If we're gonna do that,
We'll have to have a runway.
what's that?
If we got to do that, we got to have a runway, just like the Oscars, you know?
Well, I just think it'd be fun to have an audience, you know, just once or twice, you know, kind of put us up there on stage, or even if it's just you and Andy and maybe a couple of guests that we, you know, like I say, get Sam on a monitor. Maybe we can even get him off his ankle bracelet and get him away from home for a little bit or something. But
We could do it. I'd like to do it on Monday night, make it part of our regular show.
it would be great if they'd let us do it on Mondays. It'd be
Because Monday would,
fantastic.
the way, here's what happened Monday. We got probably 70 people in there.
Exactly.
There were like, I think it was like 50 paid people, but I think there were 20 that were guests of the Ale House.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we had 62 seats and they weren't awful. I think there were about 6 that were empty, but they were pretty much about 50 seats filled, I guess.
Well, clearly you still know how to put on a show.
And well, yeah, and they were very happy with it. They want to do it again.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I wouldn't want to do it on a Sunday night, because now I think we've kind of got it established that Monday night is the special night for shows there.
Right.
Sunday still got the trivia quiz before us, which I'm not gonna criticize.
This is a production meeting that you should probably have when you're not.
Thank you, Susan.
I'm not gonna say anything about the show, the Sunday night on air where everybody can see it. We'll talk about it.
You should be selling your clinic that you're doing the next 4 weeks.
What clinic?
Your writer's clinic.
Oh,
seminar, whatever you call it, Mark.
Yeah, we got a writer's clinic. Get a hold of me on Facebook. I'll get you in.
We're enthusiastic about that. That's great.
For our 4 viewers, if you haven't taken Mark's writing workshop, that's the Chili Chalice method, click like below and send him an email.
Chili Chalice method. I like that.
Oh, you know what? That reminds me of that. I forgot about that. I got a little banner here for. There we go. Yeah, get my click like button. That's how we get.
Or just come on week 2, when Paralegal Extraordinaire will give you some tips on intellectual properties.
My God.
We're talking contracts. We're talking copyright. We're talking trademark.
Normally that's week 4, but because Susan is singing in the chorus this season.
As long as she's not singing in court from the witness stand, that's the important
chorus.
She's chorus. Okay, all right.
She's in the community chorus. So
word from the chorus. We hope you like the show. We know you're rooting for us.
But no, time to go. There you go. God, I love Bugs Bunny.
Yeah, it's much like be cartoons and
I mean, don't you ever have times where you're at the grocery store and you're just going along and you're going, kill the rabbit, kill the rabbit,
kill the rabbit,
yes.
And everyone's kind of looking at you, and like a couple of people are kind of whistling along, and it's like, I mean,
Broomhilda.
Hats off to Mel Blanc and the rest of the staff at the Warner Brothers.
Well, of course, what is it? What's that one that Robin Williams did? I'm riding in your car.
Bruce Springsteen doing Elmer Fudd.
Elmer Fudd,
yeah, that was great.
That was a Bruce Springsteen song.
You were talking about Robin Williams earlier when he did The World According to Garp.
Yeah,
he did that around the same time as Mork and Mindy was a huge hit.
Right.
And he had I don't know if it's a bad habit, but he had a habit of ad-libbing, throwing everyone else off. I don't know what my line is because Robin's winging it.
Right.
And George Roy Hill, when Robin did this, George Roy Hill said, okay, that's all for today. Like 20 minutes into the rehearsal. That's all for today. Mm-hmm. And Robin's standing there like, well, what do you mean? And he walks over to him. He says, you can be a really funny improvisational comic, or you can be a goddamn actor. Make up your mind. And walked off.
Wow.
There's
you can also be both.
you guys
and Robin was so upset that 28 years later he hung himself.
Yeah.
but you guys are all familiar with Dog Day Afternoon, obviously, right?
Yeah.
There is a scene in there where Sidney Lumet, they bring down the guy's mother.
Can we crank Jason up?
Yeah, a little bit. All right.
Jason can. I can't.
Okay. Yeah, hopefully, does that sound better, Sam?
No.
Get closer to the mic.
Here, let me switch up my
project.
My headset. I am projecting.
Ah, yes, theater project.
We are Devo.
I just read a piece on Dog Day Afternoon. This is I'd never heard this before. Most interesting thing. Lumet wanted that all to be improvisation.
Well,
in fact, the screenwriter who won the best original screenplay didn't feel like he should win the award because all he was doing was rewriting what everybody was saying. All right, we're keeping that, right? But one of the things that he did was Pacino got so upset that he said, "That's it, I'm out." And so he said,
in what movie?
Dog Day.
Uh-huh.
Right. Pacino says, "I'm out." So Lumet calls over to his assistant director and says, "All right, get the script over to Dustin Hoffman." And Pacino hears it, goes, "What? All right, I'm back in." It was like he didn't want. He was so upset with the improv, with the way the scripting and the looseness of the script was going, and the way things were changing all the time. Not according to script, he was going to quit. But then when he heard that Dustin Hoffman was going to get offered the part, all right, I'm back in.
Well, there's the one scene in the movie where the guy's mom comes down.
Yes.
And Lumet tells her, whatever he says, you stick straight to your script. And of course, Pacino was just going all over the place.
Right.
And because he felt that added that sort of sense of unreality, of disconnectedness.
Yeah.
You know, and it works. It works beautifully. And also you've got to love some of the dialogue between him and Leon, his future wife.
Chris Sarandon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who plays that role so it is so perfect.
I gotta watch that again. I haven't seen that since I was like 12 years old.
It is a very good movie, and it also has a couple scenes of the SS France, one of my favorite ocean liners.
Well, you know what's great about that movie? When they are in the bank and then in the car, I was sweating.
Yes.
Remember how hot it was supposed to be? So hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You felt the humidity.
Mm-hmm.
It was,
and that was
brilliant.
That was Bobby D. Williams' brother who was playing the driver. The first guy they put in who had that sort of like 1970s afro and he.
Oh, what's his name?
Oh God, he's a good actor. He was on The Shield. He had a recurring role on the TV show The Shield. And he's a hell of an actor. His brother obviously had a good career, to say the least. But oh God, that's going to drive me nuts. Someone needs to start talking to one of our robot people to look up.
The A&I guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Send me all your favorite films, and I'll put them in a poem if you want.
Oh, Susan,
that's about 100. You know. Okay,
yeah, I'd say you'd have material to work with. That would come in handy.
Yeah.
It's good to see you all. I'm gonna head out.
All right, thanks, Susan.
Right.
Thanks for the poem. Have a good night.
Bye.
I'm surprised about Sidney Lumet doing improvisation because he usually rehearses like 2 weeks with the actors and the script.
Who's that?
That was Sidney Lumet.
Sidney Lumet. According to the story that I read, he wanted all of his actors to improvise. Very loose. Maybe he didn't like the screenwriter's script.
Probably.
But then again,
probably liked the story, didn't like the dialogue. So
you need to get a little closer to the mic, Mark. You're getting a little lost.
Oh, I'm sorry. But that was based on a true story. So when you say original screenplay, it's kind of hard to.
No, I'm not saying it was an unusual choice for him to do it.
Dick Anthony Williams.
Dick Anthony Williams. There you go. Thank you.
Not only a name, but a command.
Dick Anthony Williams. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Damn.
Right.
But good actor. He was on The Shield. He had a role there as a black minister, and he was really good in it. And again, he's
no longer with us, unfortunately. But
yeah. One of those actors who knew how to use a cigarette as a prop. You guys know what I mean? How you can. And I've been watching The Sopranos, and I asked you guys about the whole food, and you know how big the food thing is. And I noticed these actors are all really good at pushing food around and cutting it up, but nobody's eating. You know what I'm saying? I sort of like paid attention to how they were doing this and how because again they're eating in every other scene in The Sopranos. I mean,
I have to tell you guys a story. I have a friend from high school. It's really amazing. I've kept in touch with these guys. It's been over almost 60 years. And her name is Data, Dada, Data Davis. And her father was like some big industrialist or something. Anyway, we've been friends forever. No romance, just friends. And she said, "Do you remember this guy's name? It doesn't matter, And I said, "Yeah, I remember him." well, the other day he called me, and I haven't heard from him in decades. Yeah. And what of it? Well, he said, listen, I've never told you this, but I've always had a crush on you. And I know that, you're a widow and I'm divorced, and, we don't have that much time left. And I was wondering, would you even contemplate the idea of a relationship with me? And she went, no. No.
Oh dear.
And so I said to her, didn't you think that was a little harsh? And she said, would have been better to say, yeah, I guess so. And then you find out that it doesn't, no, nip it in the bud. I said, yeah, but you kind of cut him off at the nuts. I mean, the guy probably is a soprano now. I mean,
Yeah.
No, are you crazy? You? Ooh.
Well, at least he knows he can move on at this point. He
to a cliff.
Yeah.
Yeah, he obviously he was desperate because he was like trying to pick up somebody at age 72?
75.
75. That's not an easy thing to do.
I asked her, I said, what was it about him? She said, you want to know the truth? She said, it was the fact, he said, we don't have much time left. So it's not like, I really don't find you that attractive, but I could be dead next week. So what do you say?
Well, it did work in World War II, but I'm not so sure that it's necessarily the approach you want to take now.
Wow,
I mean,
I'm shipping out tomorrow, lady.
Well, he called me because he told me, he said, listen, I'm gonna call her, and I'm gonna, and so my phone rings, and by the way, she had already told me what I told you. She said, I've already heard this from her.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, hello. He goes, you're not going to believe this. So I played dumb, and I said, well, what? She goes, she turned me down flat. Really? Oh man. Well, better to find out now. But she was mean, and I said, listen, don't take this the wrong way, but you're not 6 years old, okay? Yeah. You've been married, you have kids. We're going to meet at the malt shop. And he goes, and he goes, now you're being a dick. I said, well, maybe you're a little hypersensitive. Gee, Betty, if you're not busy, the sock hop is next week, and Jesus Christ, man, it's okay. And he says, well, I thought she'd be impressed. This is the part that really borders on pathetic. He said, do you remember when I was president of the student council? Yes, I lied. And he, and he said, and I mean, it's been decades. And so he said, do you know what I did as student council president? I said, absconded with the treasury. I said, I don't know. And he goes, do you remember the band I booked for the sock hop? And I go,
no.
Well, I know it wasn't Country Joe and the Fish.
Yeah.
So I said no. He goes, and actually, looking back, this was a huge deal that he got them. He got the Shirelles.
Oh wow!
This is a high school.
Yeah.
The high school sock hop. He got the Shirelles.
Yeah, nice.
And I said, well, that's pretty damn impressive. But are you thinking that she would want to embark on a relationship with you because you got the singing group, several of whom are in critical condition? I mean, I said, listen, isn't there any other woman you could ask, to have a relationship? And he said, well, that's easy for you to say. You're married. I go, oh, I think about it all the time. He said, yeah, but he said, but you have female friends. I go, yes, I do. And you've never had a relationship with them? I said, no, I haven't. He said, well, how do you do that? I said, I'm married. And, if I'm, why would I would have to embark on a relationship with them and tell my wife goodbye? I said, have you ever seen my wife? She's a crack shot. I mean, she could literally shoot the eye out of a newt. And he said, and so I said to my wife, I said, listen, if I ever told you that I was going to leave you for another woman, what would you do? She said, I would call the other woman and go, ha, ha, ha. I said, Jesus, really? She goes, no. She said, you would never do that. I go, I know. But why don't you think I would do it? She says, because you don't want to inflict the same pain on them that you have on me. She said, you're a nice guy. You wouldn't want to do that to another woman, would you? And I go, stop it. You're turning my head. Jesus Christ.
I have a very young friend. He's like 32, and he's on the road. He's getting married in the fall, and he was with his girlfriend, fiance today. He made some remark that she took the wrong way, and he called me up. He's going, she's all mad at me, and I don't get it. And it's like, dude, go up to her, put your hands on the shoulders, kiss her on the neck, say whatever you said. It was completely wrong, and you're sorry. He goes, but look, just get used to it. Start doing that, because you're going to be doing that for the rest of your life. And chances are she was right anyways. So I don't know why you would call an unmarried gay man to get advice on marriage. But then again, the Catholics go to a celibate man for marriage advice. So, unusual sources, I suppose.
Do you remember AC Green?
Yes.
He was a virgin for virtually his entire adult life.
That was he was like the last Jerry curl in the NBA, remember?
Yes, and that's why he was a virgin.
Well, I mean, Mark's back. We have to quit talking crap about him. So
yes, Mark is back. Yes.
There you go. He's glitching up, but he's there. He kind of looks like
He's
the
running the show.
No, there he is.
Now we got a smiley face.
Now we got the HAL 9000 version of Mark, who's not going to let us back into the ship. He won't open the pod bay door. No matter how nicely we ask.
Dave, open the
Mark,
pod bay door, Dave.
Open the pod bay door, Dave. I don't think we can do that. No, he's gone now. Oh no.
How?
Hell. You're going to have a hard time doing that without your helmet, Dave.
Daisy.
Oh God. Does anyone find that scene really unsettling?
What scene?
The scene in 2001 where he's essentially either castrating or lobotomizing Hal. To me, it's
lobotomizing Hal.
It's like a slow murder.
All right, I'm back.
I enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I honestly, again, the character of Hal was so well portrayed by the voice actor that I kind of bought into it, and he seemed like a real character.
I'm really sorry you feel that way, Dave.
Yeah, Jason.
There's never been any mistake made by a HAL 9000 computer. Nothing can possibly go wrong from yet another movie.
Why has no comic ever done the Hal voice as a celebrity?
It's a hard voice to do right.
No. I'm not saying that voice. I'm saying nobody has done Jack Nicholson as Hal from the year 2001.
Oh, that would be great.
Nobody has done Hal as played by. Nobody has done the as played by.
Oh, yes.
One of the great comic tropes is the somebody else voicing the character.
Elmer Fudd as Hal.
Yeah.
Dave. We're really sorry.
Sorry, Dave.
We gotta let you go.
Open the bay.
Dennis Miller did this line. He said, I think the death penalty should be for everybody who ever does an impression of Jack Nicholson, and when they do it, pull their hair back.
Pull their hair back. Yes.
Yeah.
I saw a black guy who was bald do that.
Oh.
Let me ask you a question. What's worse? Okay, what's worse? That or the people who or the people who go, and it might go like this, and they turn their back.
Turn it back. Yeah.
Oh my God!
Like you're going to turn around, and it's
Oh.
going to be a complete metamorphosis.
You're,
To
Yes,
tell you the
stop
truth,
it.
I think both of them are just playing the hackneyed, comedy. What do you call it?
trope.
Yes, yes.
Trope?
They're just playing that. They're just playing that because
you guys are triggering a horrible
Holy
memory.
shit.
I went to
Which game are you watching?
I'm watching Iowa LSU.
Oh, is this a basketball?
Yes.
Who are the final eight?
Women's basketball.
Oh, women's
If
basketball.
if it's LSU, it certainly isn't ice fishing. We know that.
I'm watching the Mets and the Tigers. The Mets have only scored 2 runs this whole season. So guess how many they've scored so far through 6 innings?
But the Mets are National League. Why are they playing? Is this an exhibition
Interleague
game?
play. Interleague play is very common.
We've had interleague play for 22 years.
Are
Get
you
with
serious?
the program, pal.
Yeah, where have you been? We've had
19
interleague play. Oh, I take that back. We were still at Tiger State, and we've been in Comerica since 99.
98, 99, yeah.
Yeah, so we've been in Comerica. This is our 25th year in Comerica Park, and we had interleague play back when they played at Tiger Stadium back in the 1900s.
They went on strike in what, 93 or 94?
94.
96.
96 was it?
No, it was 90. Remember when they canceled the season? You know, when they actually.
Okay, 96 was the Olympics. 96 was.
Well, at any rate, when they canceled the season, my mother was still alive, and it was one of her favorite things. She was a huge Tiger fan. It was her last year of life, and they canceled the season. And I like at that point, it's like, okay, baseball's dead to me, and quite literally, it has been ever since. It's like, and I'll do the same thing if football does the same thing to me again. You don't cancel a season like that. You don't go on strike during it. You find a way.
You know what?
You find a way.
Yeah, a guy I used to caddy for bought the company and laid us all off, and so I never played golf again.
Well,
I got kicked out of a poker game that I played for 11 years. I never played poker since.
I played golf until I broke my leg skydiving, and then went out and tried to.
You skydived?
I used to.
And we lost him on that.
I'm back.
He's
You
back.
skydived?
I used
How many
to,
times
yes.
did you jump out of a plane, Jason?
You jumped out of a working airplane?
Yes, by myself. And not only that, I did it
Well,
voluntarily.
you had to?
I was not asked to leave. And you know what's worse, Sam? The first 3,500 feet were fine. The last foot, not so much. But
it never is. It's always the last foot that kills you.
But after I had my leg rebuilt from about the middle of the leg on down, the left leg, I had to convalesce at my parents' house with my father, who is a former member of the 82nd Division Airborne, who spent every waking minute slowly reminding me of what an idiot of a son he had, and why it would have been better to have been smothered in the crib than to be saddled with someone who could go out and do something so effing stupid.
Well, let me. What you should have done was this. All right, it's a 2-step thing. Okay, ready?
Yes.
Hypodermic. Air.
Yes. It would have been easier. I was calling up my friends, begging them to come over and just kill me with a pillow, something, strangle me.
Remember that scene in Coming Home with Robert Carradine?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a great movie.
Yes.
Wait a minute.
Hard movie.
Coming Home. I thought that was Bruce Dern and Coming Home was Bruce Dern and John Voight.
Yeah, but Robert Carradine played the girl who became Jane Fonda's friend. I don't remember her name, but it was her brother.
Oh, okay.
Okay, saddest post-Vietnam movie: Deer Hunter or Last Detail?
Deer Hunter.
But Last Detail, was that really Vietnam? I mean, it's actually.
Well, it's 1973. You can tell the war is either over.
Oh no, Deer Hunter by a mile.
Yeah.
Deer Hunter's a sad movie, although. When Streep is walking down the street with Robert De Niro and all the dudes are saying hi to her, and she's just playing it off, because you can tell that she's kind of been the town pump while they're away.
Mouch! Mouch!
Yeah. Deer Hunter is one of those movies I've seen once, and it will be very difficult for me to see it again.
I have never been more sure of someone who I thought was going to win the Oscar than I knew. I thought Christopher Walken was just a mortal lock.
Yeah.
There was no doubt in my mind he was going to win the Oscar.
Yeah.
God, he was great.
Yeah. And people forget just, at that point in the 70s, how difficult all that was for this country, how we were still just absolutely in shock.
You want to befuddle someone? When you're watching
yeah.
that movie, you go, who was absolutely brilliant in that?
Yeah.
George Zazunda.
Yeah, he was actually.
But they'll have no idea who the fuck George Zazunda is.
And if Ned were here right now, he'd say something like, "Not as funny as I thought it would be."
Well, I think it was what's his name? Oh yeah.
Well, isn't John Sayles dying at that point when he's making that movie?
John Sayles?
Or Cales? You know the guy who played Fredo.
John Cazale.
Cazale, excuse me. Excuse me. But yeah, I mean, he died not long after that movie debuted.
Well, he only made. Do you know he made 5 movies?
Good ones,
All of them were Oscar nominated.
Yeah,
for best movie. All of them.
So-
Conversation, Dog Day Afternoon,
Godfather
1, Godfather 2, and
mercifully
Deer Hunter.
Was dead by the time Godfather 3 was considered, so he dodged that bullet.
Yeah. He would have died if he had made Godfather. Yeah,
he'd been in that. Yeah, again.
There's a subtitle for Godfather 3, The Apology.
Yeah.
Well, he and Meryl Streep were an item at that time.
They were lovers.
Yeah, they were an item. And then Streep goes on after that. I mean, on her string of uplifting choices, Sophie's Choice, which again is another movie that will rip your beating heart out of your chest and show it to you. I mean, but again, she's one of the best actresses or actors, whatever, to ever be on stage. And
absolutely,
she can do anything. She's my favorite actress in The Devil Wears Prada, which is
she's something else.
She's typically
she was in Murders in the Building there, Yeah.
Oh man, and Stanley Tucci in that movie.
God, isn't he another guy who's just an amazing actor in anything you give him?
But she was you know what I found out? So she and her husband have divorced.
Yeah,
they were married like 40 years. They've divorced. Guess who she's dating?
I have no idea.
Martin Short.
Actually, I like that.
They met on Only Murders in the Building.
Wow.
Yeah, and Martin lost his wife a few years back, right?
Man, I met him, and he was so charming. I go like this. We were both doing a piece on MSNBC, and we were in a satellite studio, not the main studio. And he was so funny. I go, he looks at me, he goes, "Hi, how are you?" And I go, "I'm fine." He goes, "What's your name?" I go, "Sam." He goes like this, "Marty." Just Marty.
Oh my God.
And I go, "I knew that." He goes, "No one knows for real. The real." He goes like this, "The real Marty." And I'm laughing. He goes, "Oh, you think that's funny?" I go, "Yes." He goes, "Well, thank God, I was trying to be." And then he said, "Now listen, I have to go in here now and pretend I like these people, so lay off." He was just hysterical.
He was on Dennis Miller's radio show once, and he and Dennis are just having a great time. They're cutting up, they're telling stories, and at the end he says, "Thank you, Marty, for coming on, because you're always one of the best. Yeah, I never have to worry when you're on." And Martin Short goes, "Oh, don't worry about it, Dennis. I know how to handle big radio celebrities, or in your case, personalities." And,
oh man! Man!
Yeah, I mean, and again, he timed it just perfectly with the proper accent and just
mercy.
Again,
I did a gig in Knoxville, Tennessee, and Dennis Miller was the headliner.
Right.
And I drove from DC to Knoxville. It's only you only go through 2 states.
Right.
You know, it's Virginia and then Tennessee, because Tennessee is so wide.
Mhm.
And so we had time to kill one day, and he and I drove around in my car for 3 hours, and it was the best 3 hours I've ever spent with any comic in my life.
Really?
Yes, with the possible exception of when I stuck Diane Ford.
Well,
No, but he was great, because this is before he became the guy you know now.
right.
You know, and the advice he gave me was really funny, because it's nothing he does now. He said, "Don't curse when you're doing your stand-up. Do not curse."
Yeah.
I go, "Why?" He goes, "It'll just diminish the brilliance of whatever your act is."
Yep.
And I go, "Okay." And then of course he goes to HBO and he becomes a fuckathon.
Yeah. But he's right.
He is right.
He's
Who
right.
is this? HBO? Who is this? Dennis Miller?
Dennis Miller.
Yeah.
You know,
I have a Dennis Miller story.
Yes, sir.
All right.
I was taking my nieces to go see Dave Coulier
Okay.
over at the Pine Knob.
Right.
And so they're all 8 years old, 9 years old. My brother says, "Okay, all right, got tickets." I thought it'd be because they were watching, Full House, and really excited to see Dave Coulier. So I go in there, got the seats, and the opening comic started off with the bluest, most disgusting, dirtiest jokes possible, and just went down, like about full 15 minutes of going like, "Kids, hide your ears. Just put your hands over your ears, okay? Look this way. Just don't look at this guy, okay? We'll get to Dave Coulier, all right?" And then I'm thinking in my head, my brother's gonna kill me. My brother's gonna kill me. He's gonna kill me. It's like
Mark's back. Yay.
Mark's back, and then
I had to come in
Dave
because
Coulier comes on. Dave
sounded like you were
Coulier comes on. He's trying to recover from the opening, and then he gets through it all, and then I'm feeling, well, maybe Dennis Miller's headline, and maybe we'll stay for Dennis Miller. And then Dennis Miller comes out and starts a litany of swear words right from the beginning. So I was like, okay, kids, let's go. I hope my brother doesn't kill me, okay?
So, Mark, what happened to you? Where'd you go?
Oh, I've got some household issues.
Oh dear.
Yeah. No, nothing like the last time I had household issues, but
Okay.
things that need to be taken care of. I was busy right up until we went live today. So
I love your lighting and
Damn it.
Oh, what happened? We lost Jason?
Oh, did we? I'll get him back. Hold on.
Do you have money on this thing, Sam?
No, but I'm rooting.
Do you have money on this thing?
No, I'm rooting for Iowa.
Okay.
There you go.
Well, they lost to LSU last year. So
Yes, I'm rooting for the team with the majority of white players.
What? You're a Celtics fan?
No. The reason I'm rooting for them is I can't stand LSU's coach. They guy in the Washington Post wrote an article about her team, and she said it's filled with innuendo and lies, and I'm going to hire a lawyer. Oh, shut up, please.
Yeah, she there was a story about her on CBS tonight about her going after the Los Angeles Times editorial piece too.
Wow.
Well,
Yeah, she's a little hypersensitive for a woman who, I don't know, how old is she? 80?
She's pretty old.
But
sadly,
it's enough already.
Sadly, Michigan, which used to have the winningest coach in all of college sports, male, female, whatever, Carol Hutchinson, and she sadly retired last year. And I would have loved to have seen her get some of the money that we give our other athletic directors and whatnot. I mean, 7-8 figures.
Well, let's go to the
whatever.
box office. Let's go to the box office and see how much her team's brought in.
Well, the guy who used to coach Grambling.
Yeah.
That school had no money. When he was the football coach, he had to chalk the lines for the football games.
Yeah. Yeah, but the thing is, when you're a coach at a place like Michigan, they have money, Mark. They do. They're not poor.
Dude, Michigan has more money.
Right.
I think I'm right about this than any other school I can think of.
Yes.
Because of the subsidiary, they hawk their product.
Yes.
Yeah.
That big Michigan M makes millions.
If you can,
every year.
Michigan's
Plus the helmet, too.
Michigan's endowment has so much money that if you get into Michigan and you can't afford to go there, they'll take care of your tuition.
We had, and Andy can testify to this, we had Mike Wallace in one of our taxi cabs.
Yeah.
When he'd come to Michigan to help establish the first $1 billion endowment. It's grown significantly since then.
Yeah.
And he also bought and donated a house for the Mike Wallace Scholarship and Writing Program.
Yeah.
He's an alum. Yeah.
Well, Caltech. This is amazing.
Caltech amateur.
I'm sorry.
Caltech amateurs. You mentioned Caltech in the same sentence as Michigan. Oh, please.
What? No.
Well,
Listen. No, you'll understand why. Caltech, if they didn't have any students, they would still be operating 24 hours a day on research projects.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. Well,
The
they
thing about
created a couple elements.
The thing about Michigan, is that the reason they have their money is because they didn't lose any money during the big 2008 sale off.
It's because of the Jews that run Michigan. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud?
What?
That's
Huh?
right. Their business school did not lose any money. Where Harvard lost money, Yale lost money. All these guys that said their business schools got tanked on that whole thing. But the U of M never bought into the idea that it's something but a scam.
I'm sorry. I'm still laughing at the Jews thing.
Yeah.
Well, you
I have a question though. I was listening to NPR today, and they had they're interviewing one of the famous women basketball players, and they were talking about why is it that women get paid so much less than men in basketball, and why is it there's no future after the college in women's professional sports
Like there is in men's.
Yes, and they're kind of figuring out why. They're trying to figure out why. I was thinking to myself, I kind of know why. Is that
no one cares.
I know.
No, I think there's a bigger reason. If you look back 30, 40 years, okay, women's basketball with 6 to a team, you couldn't dribble more than 3 dribbles. It was a terrible sport.
Yeah.
It's only been like in the last, what do you think, Mark, 25 years?
Oh, no. You talk about when it was 6-on-6 and they had a defensive team and an offensive.
Yeah.
That's my grandmother played. My grandmother told me about that because she actually came and talked to our team about it because I played varsity in high school. Yeah. And she came and she was like, 60 years earlier, she was one of the girls that started the sport in our community where I grew up at the high school. And she talked to us about it. And she said back in they had to wear skirts.
Yep.
They had to wear long sleeves.
Yep.
They had 3 girls on each side of the court. You either played offense or defense. So you were a defender or you were a dribbler.
And more important, really, really fancy nipple rings.
You guys.
Which brings me to my point.
No, those were the professionals.
No, I'm sorry. But that's one of the reasons that the sport where women play like they play. And by the way, I hate when people say, "Oh, it's because they can't dunk." Their game is great without dunking. Their game is terrific.
You know what?
I'm watching it now.
Reason.
No one cares about the dunking. It just, All
right. So this is my reason why the women's doesn't work as well as the men's. It's because of socialization. All right. Women are told that tall men are beautiful.
They are.
Men are told that tall women are gay.
Have you ever seen Joel Embiid?
I'm not saying they're not pretty. I'm just saying that I think is why people don't make a distinction between the two.
You guys ever seen Kevin McHale naked?
I tell you what, I've got 3 daughters. I've got 3 daughters, and 2 of the 3 played sports that were judged. My middle daughter played soccer, but the other 2, all 3 of them played basketball because I coach basketball. But other than basketball, the other 2, one was an ice skater and one was a gymnast. And all those sports are judged, and they're not always judged just on their athletic ability.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The skater head's artistic. You know what I mean? And so the girls' sports are sort of like, it's not it's if you had figure skating and they had two match set against each other like in tennis, right? And you plowed one over like it was a hockey game, yeah, then we probably like women's.
Well, if you're in figure skating, isn't it about who brings the biggest hammer to the knee of the opponent? No.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, that's a Detroit thing, I know, but
I know.
It was actually a baton.
Yeah.
Well, you see, there you go. I don't even have the right.
Gotta hire
tool.
a couple of hitmen. That's exactly what we would do.
It was a retractable baton for the purposes of hitting somebody. Yes, that's what.
I felt really bad for her till I found out she was a Trump supporter. Now I'm sorry he didn't do it to both of us.
When did she become a Trump? How do you become a Trump supporter that early? That was 92. That.
No, I'm saying big Republican.
Oh well, whatever.
And by the way, not only her, but Peggy Fleming.
Really?
Well, I will tell you one thing: people watch women's soccer more than they watch men's soccer.
But do you remember when women's tennis was something people would watch?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh sure. You know why? No Jews.
Exactly. Again, they were all at the U of M ripping people off and keeping.
Is it always?
And
I don't know. I just think that the more
downhill skiing,
the more popular female sports are not big.
Is there uphill skiing? Isn't it all downhill?
Well, that's what they call it, downhill skiing. Now, there is other type of skiing, which you have to go up hills and down the hills, but that's cross country. And that's basically like sliding on your socks across the dirt, across the...
Well, to me, though, it was women's tennis and it was ladies' professional golf.
Oh.
I mean, but in this... I don't know. I used to smoke a lot of weed back then. So anytime you turned on any kind of a golf game, I'd just sit there and watch it and wait for the weed and the quaaludes to wear off.
Golf?
Yeah.
Wow.
Ladies golf. I used to watch that, and I used to watch the tennis.
Well, that's the only way I would watch golf now. I mean, it's easy.
I'm going to tell you something. There was a woman. When I think of women's golf, I think of, the old saying about rough teams lose the game, win the fight.
Yeah.
Those are some tough broads.
Well, they have very sensible haircuts. You got to give them that, dude. I mean, come on.
Sensible haircuts. You remember a female tennis player, Betty Stova?
No.
Betty Stova was from Denmark, and she kind of looked like, if James Coco was a woman.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh.
And
Wow.
and this is at the Cap Center, the Capitol Center in D.C. or outside of D.C. And she's bouncing the ball, about getting ready to serve, and there's a girl in the crowd with a baby that is crying his eyes out. And Betty Stova goes like this. Well, I don't know if you can see me with her racket. She points and goes, like, get that fucking kid out of here. And the audience applauded when the woman left.
Well, she wasn't going to reproduce. Why should anyone else? I mean,
exactly. Why egg her on?
Keep you and your working uterus out of here, honey.
Exactly. How do you know that you're at a baseball game with a Karen?
How?
If her team loses, she demands to speak to the manager.
Oh,
there you go. And who can ever forget Earl Weaver on the radio discussing what he thinks some of the critics of his team should do? If you have ever had the chance to listen to Earl Weaver's last radio broadcast, it's quite interesting.
I miss Earl Weaver. He was one of my favorites.
I like the fact that he would get himself kicked out of a game so he could smoke.
Yeah, that is pretty awesome.
Oh, time for you to do the outro, Mark.
Yes, it is. Hey, thanks for coming by, everybody. Here we are. The off night. Every Monday night at 8 o'clock.
Yes.
It's always the four of us. We invite others to come. Not always everybody coming, but you got us, right?
Yep. Good night.
Old guys, and we talk about comedy, we talk about the world.
I prefer elderly.
Oh, okay. Elderly. All right. We'll be back next Monday night at 8 o'clock, and I may be broadcasting from Miami, hosting from Cleveland.
Why
Susan and I
Cleveland? The eclipse?
Yeah.
we're going down for the eclipse. Yeah. So
Okay.
if we don't get back in time, we'll pull over and just do it from. I'll be like Andy and Jason doing it from my car. So
I've done it in my
Anyway.
car so many times.
see everybody next week. Have a good week, everybody. Good night.
All right.
Anyway.
Good Yontif.